Book 16 of the Realm of the Elderlings. What? Hey, so I've come to the end of the road, and it's been such a journey. I have read 75 pages, got quite a ways to go being at this stage. Don't mind the Christmas decorations in the back, y'all. It's a whole thing. I've only read the first 75 pages. 75 pages in Hobb is actually like 200 pages in another book. When you sit down and read Hobb, you're just not gonna fly through it. Her writing makes you slow down. It makes you be cozy. Even though I know there's like this pending doom, there is justice that's rising, and I see that. I see characters fighting to survive, and I see Fitz really leaning into this royalty thing. Fitz is kind of from the streets, you know. He's so used to being behind the scenes, and seeing him navigate politics is wild. And that's just in the first 75 pages. Since I've been with Fitz in this final trilogy, there have been about 4 or 5 new characters that have come on the page. Hobb has a way of introducing new characters that you're like, okay, here's a new character, they ain't gonna be around long, and then they end up staying around the whole time, and then you end up not liking them, and then you end up having sympathy for them out of somewhere, and then next thing you know, you're like, look at my babies, they done grown up. One character in particular, Lance, I did not like him when I met him. Fitz is like 60-something years old, and he's used to such a hard regimen. He was used to being last on the list and not even considered. Like, that's his automatic position. He automatically drops back. Now to see him really step forward and start to be okay with that, start to delegate and to use his friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have to feel like he has to go ahead and, you know, do things on his own. You get there when you get there, I reckon. Prepare for the tears. I'm saying that to myself.
So I've been saying the Vivica this whole time, and it's actually Vivicia. It pays to have the audiobook, so it's Vivicia. Why can't it be Vivacia? It's still Vivacia to me.
Oh my goodness. She's already bringing the 1-2 punch. Like, I'm not tearing up at this point in time. I'm on page 203, chapter 11. And the way that chapter 10 ended was literally the best. Fitz, he really hasn't left the 6 duchies. And so now the quest that he's on, taking a tour of the realm. Everything, it makes sense now in this book. All their questions, everything's been answered. Getting backstory, like details, characters' backstories, the totality of who they are as a character is fully displayed. The secrets are out in the open. Secrets can't be held anymore. I knew I had the Easter egg when I read it a long time ago. Easter egg I just experienced was planted almost 2 years ago. Didn't know how it was going to turn out. All the points are converging. Fitz is in the middle of it as usual. His life has intersected so many different stories, so many different lives. It's crazy. You're walking through this with him, and he has no idea. How you gonna explain this to Fitz, Chivalry? Because he mad. He got questions. And Fitz got a temper. He old too. He don't look old. Read through the series as intended. The Easter eggs, the payoff, y'all, is so sweet. My sponsors are telling me, hey, when you get to about the 500 page mark, call us. Like, stop what you and pick up the phone, because you're gonna need us. When I get to that part, you gonna know, because I'm gonna be here. I don't know what I'm be doing, where I'm be at. I'm gonna finish 2024 strong. It's book bacon. I'm hanging on by a thread. We're in Endgame now. Avengers Assemble. You know, that's that. Everybody has assembled, and they're ready to do the business. Fitz is still stuck in his ways, trying to be the lone wolf, trying to do things on his own, and just completely misgauging. It's a character flaw he has, like in his own emotional trauma and journey about him, where he's like, I just want to push everybody away because the other people that are with him that care just as much invested in this quest as he is. Everybody has something to lose. Everybody has given up a lot, and he could care less. He's trying to get them out of the way. You know what I'm saying? So Fitz is still up to his shenanigans. He's 60-some years old. You ain't changing. Stories that have been going on, and even characters that, you know, I met years ago in other books, and getting an update of where they are is like, what? And then you know the Fitz don't know the backstory, but hey, I'm on page 512. Also, don't mind cold Chrissie. Fighting a bit of a cold here. It's giving a little woo woo woo, a little Barry White's coming in, but it's okay. So, I'm at the 500 page mark and so bittersweet.
It's a family reunion, who we introducing.
Because everybody is on page. Like, I don't want it to be over. I just want to be here with these characters for the rest of their lives. I really don't want it to be over. Seeing Fitz realize that he's not so different than so many other people. Like, his life trials haven't been the worst that's ever existed. And I feel like he's seeing that there have been other characters that he's met, understanding that his life is really no different than anyone else's. Like, everyone has so much pressure and trial and trauma. Is really doing his best to navigate these new dynamics that he's in. You know, Fitz from about 20 years ago would have just ruined everything, but he's really pausing and considering his actions. He's really learned from his mistakes. And Fitz was the one that was like, you know what, I'll just take the one for the team. So he was always used to being the sacrificial character. He's really trying to really take his hands off of things and really trust those around him. And being that it's the last book, we get this from Fitz. It's taken him 6 or something years to get to this point. But that's just humans being human, right? Like, that's just growing up and realizing you really don't know anything. I really feel like Robin Hobb has packed in so many Easter eggs that upon reread, it will really come to the surface as to why she chose different perspectives and reasons for the different characters. The world has just bloomed into just this expansive and grounded and mesmerizing place. It's so refreshing. Like, I just don't want to leave. I thought I was gonna be. I only have like a few pages left. I thought I wasn't gonna cry. I really was like, oh, it'll be fine. Oh my gosh. This is just... It's so beautifully heartbreaking and yet so right. And it feels so deserved, but it's also like, oh my gosh. Robin Hobb did it to me again. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Problem is not that we forget the past. It is that we recall it too well. Hello. It's taken me about 6 months really to have the courage and the emotional fortitude to share my final thoughts on Assassin's Fate. There have been some preliminary thoughts as well that I've shared. This was one of my favorite books from 2024. So if you definitely want to see some more additional thoughts, if these thoughts aren't as expansive, I will link that video in the description down below. This was not only an end of a trilogy, this was the end of an era. Everything is resolved. Like, Robin leaves nothing on the table. I'm so happy that I read this series and this book. By far, Fitzchivalry first series, one of the most fully realized characters I have ever read. I loved everything Robin Hobb did in this book, even though it utterly wrecked me. Let me get some tissues, get myself straight. Lord have mercy. The scale of this story, what Robin Hobb conveyed in her genius, it's just a reading experience that's just unparalleled. My perception about books has changed completely, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. This is incoherent. It's been incoherent the past 3.5, 4 years. Apex to this story was just out of bounds. The desperation, the thrill, the joy, the devastation, not just about Fitzchivalry, but a lot of the new characters that come on the scene halfway through the realm of the Elderlings, and even in this trilogy as well. Feel the weight of his life, the weight of his decisions, and also the different perspectives of those that love him. It was the best ending. Just took me out. As I'm helping some of my Padawans read the Fireseer trilogy, it's just wrecking me all over again because I have like the full scale of the story. Reading the first book now with all the context, it just wrecks me all over again. That is the je ne sais quoi of the whole thing. The story weaves in on itself and it's so intricate. It's so masterful. I appreciate my sponsors here in the chat that help me just get all the spoilers out, get all of the things out so I don't feel burdened by that. Assassin's fate was just the fate that he deserved. It was not perfect. It was so humanizing. Now, there was a part that kind of was like a bait and switch. Hobb messed me up with that. Like, if you know, you know. See why Robin Hobb structured the story in the way that she did. I love the new characters. A character that I was rooting for a lot of the time, I ended up not liking as much because I really saw the brutality of their dynamic with Fitzchivalry. But then also, what was the answer? It's just a bittersweet perfection. I mean, to walk with a character for, 60 plus years, spent a whole lifetime with so many of these characters, especially with Fitzchivalry. I'm glad you've been here to enjoy the journey with me. And I think about the goodness of the Lord and where I was when I first started this series and how much healing the Lord brought to my life and to my soul in reading this series. How I felt so seen when life was just very hard, but for the grace of God. Robin Hobb and the Realm of the Elderlings was the series that got me through. Just for that alone, it will always hold a special place in my heart. Tears of Joy, Pied de Resistance. Robin Hobb changed the tier level for a 5-star book now for me. Let me get this. So with the send-off, with a heart full of joy, I recall beautiful memories. This book and the entire series, it has been an amazing journey, one that will forever stay with me. I'm sad that I can't reread it again for the first time. Praise God, I can reread the entire series again, and I absolutely will. I hope you take a chance on Robin Hobb. And for posterity, I still can't stand Kyle. If you know, you know. Stay tuned to the channel, more Hobb content coming. I plan on doing a full wrap-up, something to the effect of if you want to read Robin Hobb, where to start, kind of like a Hobb info dump. And the things that I learned that I want to offer if Robin Hobb and the Realm of the Elderlings is a series that you want to start, it's good to be on the other side. And what an amazing journey this has been. May the Lord bless and keep you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And I see y'all in the next one. Bye.